Got that. Cheers, Arnie, for letting us know. Grand. Right, okay, so this will be for people on live and if you're at the top of the hill at Porsches by the Lake. So the first Porsche we've got on the red carpet, I don't know if this is missing from the lounge upstairs or whatever, but so 1978.
78, yeah.
78 SC, owned by Mr. Andy Brooks from Nine Works Radio. So if you wouldn't mind talking through maybe to people gathered here a little bit about the car, and I'll do my best to point at relevant parts. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Bought it 8 weeks ago, I guess.
Yeah.
Very fortunate to stumble across it and purchase. It's a PTS colour, which is Dolomite Grey, which was only available on the 924 Menmatic models.
Okay.
79 model year, I believe.
Yeah.
Interior is red lobster with orange black pinstripe, which is not unique, but pretty unusual.
Yeah.
It's got a
Keep this way if we can.
Proper 70s vibe to it, isn't it?
So I guess we'd like to know, because you had a 993 beforehand, which is for sale currently.
Currently for sale. If anybody wants it, it's on collecting cars.
Yes, so red with the stripes. Again, I'm sure if you've been to events, Bicester Heritage, etc., you would have seen Andy's car. But you wanted to switch up the 993 for an SC.
Yes.
Why?
I've always wanted an SC or a G-body car, an impact bumper car. The sort of aesthetics of it, I don't know, I really enjoy that look. When I was originally buying my first Porsche, it was really what came along, and that would have been either a G series, 964 and 993, and then I found my 993, which is just an amazing specimen, so I went for that, but I've always hankered after one of these.
Right, okay.
So
1978, that's the first year of SC model, so it's 180 horsepower.
yes, this is a 79 model year. So
Right, okay.
There's a few subtle little differences to the 78.
Like what? Go full nerdy?
Let's go full nerdy.
Yeah, let's go full nerdy.
So, even though they've faded, these were all black. I believe on the 79, you could option the window surrounds in black rather than chrome.
Okay.
They were all chrome on the 78 model year, and it's got the colour-coded headlamp surround.
Yeah, okay.
Where the earlier ones have chrome.
Yeah.
I think that's it for that model
Yeah.
year thing.
Should we pop the hood before we have a look inside? Yeah, well done for always remembering to lift that up. That's always, grandiose. So it's 180 horsepower. The later SCs were 204, but these early ones were super torquey, weren't they?
Yeah, well this has had a rebuild about 10 years ago. It's got high compression pistons on, so in it, as well as Nickel cylinders from a 3.2.
Yeah.
So it's probably putting out the higher horsepower, I guess.
Yeah.
It certainly goes. It's an amazing little car. It revs and it's torquey as well. It's just an all-round.
It definitely goes. Yeah, like following you up this morning, it definitely goes, and trying to follow you around Wales a couple of weeks back. At this point, I would say if there's anyone kind of gathered round, like feel free to come over. You don't have to stand at a distance if you want to come have a look at the cars.
Absolutely.
But yeah, that's absolutely grand, Andy. I need to show people who are live watching or maybe at the top of the hill inside here. So it is pretty leery. Andy, you've nicknamed this Thermador.
No, it was Carl Fortune that came up with the name.
Yep.
Because of the lobster interior. Lobster Thermador.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all original. It has had a little bit of work in the past at Camphor Classics. They reinforced the velour, but otherwise it's original, all the original carpets. It's amazing, really, that it's still with us. Surprised that somebody didn't change it to black in the 1990s.
It's probably Larry. I think we've said on the podcast before that all this sort of stuff's very much back in, but there was a time when it wasn't favoured, I suppose. So you're right. The fact it's kind of stood the test of time is pretty exceptional.
Yeah.
Very, very cool, and a nice contrast to the exterior as well.
Absolutely, yeah. Such a good colour match.
Yeah.
Colour contrast, as you say.
Yeah.
Wheels are 7 and 8s. They were originally specified on it, 15 inches.
Yeah.
They're standard sized tyres, even though to me they look quite beefy.
Yeah.
They're N-rated tyres, set up by centre gravity, so the stance and everything. So I think it's a perfect stance. You see quite a few SCs of G-bodies that don't look quite right.
Yeah.
I think, they set that up beautifully.
Yeah. Absolutely spot on. All right, Andy. I think as we're live, we can do this here. Maybe you start it up and see how that sounds. Left-hand drive, of course. Here he is. Very smooth, very, very smooth. Quality, Andy. So why don't we pop this car back over to the side?
Yep.
If you're cool with that.
Absolutely.
We should watch drive off. Thanks for being the first one. It's always scary being the first one, isn't it? So we'll let Andy head on to watch him drive off, and then we'll ask Mickey with his 912C to come along. That'd be grand. So that's Andy with his 78 SC, and his 993 is currently for sale if you'd like to buy it. If you buy it as a result of my tip-off, I believe I get some commission. Oh dear. Cool. This is where it all falls apart from a health and safety point of view. Grandiose, absolutely grand. Yep, cheers for Andy for being the first to come along. So straight from 180 horsepower car to another. But this one is very different. Obviously, it's long bonnet, as you can see. It's not actually a 911, it's a 912. From Hungary, and Mickey from Cam Manufacture, the concern responsible for this car, is going to tell us all about it. So, can we grab a mic, gents? Is that all right? Shout out to our tech team, by the way. Super appreciative of that job. Thanks very much, gents. Mickey, take the mic, good sir. How are you?
Very good, thank you.
Absolutely magic. So, yeah, thanks for joining us on the red carpet. So yes, the car and yourself have come a long way to be here, so perhaps it'd be a good idea to introduce yourself and Cam Manufacture first of all.
Yeah, so I'm Mickey. I'm coming from Budapest, Hungary. This is the car that I was dreaming of a few years ago, almost 3 years, and we are here with a production spec car, almost, I think. This is a 912 from 1968, still short wheelbase, the narrowest, the simplest one, the lightest one. And we try to evolve it, make it even lighter and faster, stronger, and most importantly, usable. Usable for track, but also usable as a daily with a little bit of compromise.
I mean, it looks awesome. We did a video of this car last year on Limeworks TV, so if you've not seen it, definitely check it out. I'll try not to see too many plugs today on that regard. But I mean, it was an absolute record. It was very track oriented because that's a reflection of how you like to drive and how you like to enjoy the cars. There's been a lot of tinkering over the winter months, so this is still quite a dedicated drive. It takes a little bit drive, but a little bit more towards the touring side now. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, the original car that you drove, it was very much my style. So I've been probably too much around with race cars. So my liking was closer to a race car, but I have to admit it was very complicated to drive on the road, so even for long hours. And I really wanted to have my clients and everyone who is having a car like this to be able to go to A to B, to go to the track, enjoy the track, go home, but if you want to take your kid next day to school, you will be absolutely fine, or just for an ice cream to the corner, still go. So, or take your wife for a road trip. So that was the idea. Over the winter, what we did is basically detune the car and try to have more sort of a range of adjustments to make it more appealing for road and track use. But I think we are still kind of close in nowadays idea of what a track car is than to a road car. So if somebody jumps over from an EV car and gets into this car, obviously will feel the difference.
Yeah, well, it's such a small footprint. I mean, this is exactly why we love cars like this.
Yeah, but if you're coming over from a 964, now you won't feel that much of difference anymore. Obviously, the car reacts differently because it's a shorter wheelbase, it's lighter. Um, it drives a bit different, but in comfort and driving, it's very close to what a 964 can offer for you.
Yeah, yeah. The common question that people, I'm sure, puts in your ears is a lot of development has gone into this as a 912.
Right.
Why did you choose a 912 over a 911?
Well, because everybody works on 911s first of all, so it's an underdog. I like underdogs, and I think it's very underappreciated, the 912. And weight distribution. So if you're coming from a motorsport perspective and you really want to have a drivable car, then weight distribution is one of the key factors that you have to put into the equation. The four-cylinder Ranger is shorter, smaller, and we can take out almost the same, actually more output per liter than any of the air-cooled engines. So we have now 92.5 horsepower per liter, which is stronger than the 2.7 RS. It's stronger than the 3.8 RSR, but it's a small compact engine. So we have now 190 horsepower and 230 newtons. So it's quite usable with the weight what we have with this car.
And we can show people exactly what's under, and then of course as well, kind of you can illustrate that weight distribution. So as you were saying, 911 engine kind of sits traditionally like right out here.
Here. Yeah, so here's the engine mounts basically for the 911, and this is where the 912 is.
Yeah. So just much better weight distribution whereby the engine, I mean, it's probably over the rear axle really rather than hanging past it.
Exactly.
So yeah, and 750 kilos.
750 kilos without fuel, but with air conditioning.
Yeah, which is sensational. And
Well, you
needed
have
as well,
to.
I would say. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, yeah, exactly that, exactly that. So you guys have done like plenty of testing with this car as well. I mean, even this year, I mean, you've been everywhere.
Yeah, my goal is really to trust as much as possible the car in every kind of environment, from hot to cold, from track to long distance driving on highways, motorways, shitty roads, AD roads. Really, it doesn't really matter. It's just the miles to really see what's falling apart. So trying to fix everything. So basically doing the rolling testing, like almost like a factory would do probably with the miles. We already did in the last 3 months 5,000 something miles.
Easy,
Yeah, and it really, we use it, hammer it everywhere. We live off this car. So you can see the scratches, the dents everywhere.
It's important, again, like you say, there's no shortage or no replacement for mileage when it comes to development, right? It's as simple as that.
Yep.
Later on, because I'm very privileged to be able to grab this car later this year and do another road test on it, see how the car's
We're
developed.
going to take it for a couple of days, right?
Yes, I'm very much looking forward to it.
So now you can actually, you can tell me if it's really a livable car, a daily drive.
To be honest, that's how I do my role as a journalist, is to give that feedback, right? If you can't give honest feedback, then you
Yeah,
really
I agree 100%.
So, yeah, I'm looking forward to trying it, and your particular reference to the tractive suspension.
Yes.
I know we're going to speak to Steve from Tractive a little bit later on, talk through Tractive as a kind of a separate entity, but was that like your first choice when it come to like fettling the suspension?
It was my first choice, but at the time in September when we really wanted to launch the car, it wasn't available at the so we weren't able to be prepared. So in the first iteration we had a passive suspension, a front coilovers, torsion bars in the rear, and then we started working together with Tractor. And over the winter and course of the month, this is the third iteration. So we started out with a G model version of the suspension system, which obviously didn't work because the car is so different, the geometrics and the weight and everything. So now we're already in almost finished tweaking stage.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, but this is well, spring rates, bit of a modifying geometrics. These are like we're tweaking what you call it in the end.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. And again, we cover this on the video, but for people watching and listening here, you mentioned that for customer cars, obviously this is like your ideal, but for customer cars there is scope to tweak accordingly. So if somebody wants something a little bit more track focus, you can do that. A bit more
Obviously, yeah. I mean, we can do an absolutely FIA spec track car if they want to. Obviously, we have to look at the regulations where they want to race the car. accordingly, so we can do that. Suspension-wise, I'm pretty happy with the tractor. Obviously, there we can also tweak which range to aim more for the road, more for the track. With the spring loads, engine-wise, we are now it's on fuel injection. So 190 horsepower at the moment. We're aiming around 200 soon-ish for the next diamond runs. You can choose between modes. We have a normal daily driver mode and we have a mode which is more like a crazy mode. So that's the different thing. So yeah, exhaust, titanium Inconel exhaust, that's what you can have. Working on a titanium suspension as well to get some more weight down. You can, yeah. Air conditioning, obviously, is an option. Not everybody wants to have an air conditioning. Heating is an option. Not everybody needs a heating. Our first client was from Florida. And we have two versions for the body. This is a semi-carbon version, and we have a full carbon version. Next year we'll be able to show we're going to have a demo car for the full carbon.
Okay.
So roof, rear fenders as well, some other parts as well, but that comes with an integrated roll cage, like a roof style. So we try to hide it as much as possible, but still you need to have it because we're changing structure in the car.
So which parts on this car are carbon?
All the bolt on, so doors, fenders, bumpers, and engine.
We can actually see and encourage people at some point today to come and view this car. You can see the wheel through the paint there, which is nice. It's nice.
Yeah.
Delicate smatting of Irish green, of course.
Irish green, my favorite color.
Yes,
Your favorite as well.
I can say that with absolutely zero impartiality. Should we show people inside as well? Because I think the magic in here. That's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah.
I like that is. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's nuts, isn't it? Do you want me to take that, Andy? And nice one. If you want to take over at all, Andy, and whatnot.
So what have we got in here then? We've got what seats are these? Are these your seats?
These
I
are
come
our
round.
seats, yeah. These are our own bucket seats, the lightest ones that we have. We're coming up with, they're carbon fiber. We're coming up with 3 different type of seats. This is the fixed bucket seat. We're gonna have a slight adjustable seat and RSR,
Yep.
like the Porsche had, with 15% angle of adjustability, and then we're gonna have a comfort seat, and there's gonna be a bucket seat kind of stuff.
So we've got what in the door panels here. This is full carbon door.
Yeah.
And basically you've got the biggest door pocket known to mankind.
Yeah, that will change.
That's cool.
Because we're gonna have an insert for this door pocket over here.
Yeah.
And we're gonna change the mechanism of the window.
Uh-huh.
I kind of like the straps because it resembles the 911R, the purity and the simplicity of it. But to be 100% fair and square, if you drive it all the day and you want to go to a parking lot, it's just not that comfortable. You need to use 2 hands for it all the time. So
I love this of the leather for the
for
the check strap
also,
there.
like weight saving.
Yeah, indeed.
And obviously trying to use period correct materials as much as possible. So, besides the fact of carbon fiber.
That's such a great spot as well, Andy, to be honest with you. Those details
Spotting.
Yeah, very
So this
cool.
has got aircon.
It does.
Yeah, excellent. Is that from Classic Retro?
Classic Retro from Johnny Hart. Yeah.
I need to speak to Johnny about some for
Well,
mine, I think.
it was a bit of a challenge because these air conditionings were designed for G models.
Yeah.
And a bit tweaking with the F models.
Yeah.
And also the 912 has a only 35 amp alternator.
Yeah.
So I mean, we were lucky because our French shroud and the Carrera cooling, what we have, performance style, we could use different alternators. So we have 90 amps, but we're working on a version with Johnny where we can have the 964 alternator in it. So we will have much more juice.
Lovely. Very nice. And the gear lever mechanism that we've got here, that's
all
your design?
Yeah, it's all design. It's all on bearings.
Yeah.
And, trying to eliminate as much as possible the shabby early Porsche feel.
Fantastic.
And it's also, we put the location of the gear shift a little bit through the back where originally the handbrake was. it's
It all seems too far forward.
too far forward, and it's just closer to the steering wheel. It just feels much more nicer and organic. Short.
Sorry, that was me.
Sun visors. Yeah. Mirrors. Well, even these panels are carbon fiber, just like from leather. And the floor is that.
Rather than it being full stripped out.
Yeah, I mean it's also an option. Some people want to have it full strip, even going for a racer look.
Yeah.
Somebody wants to have more kind of like a subtle, classic look. I kind of like it to have a sleeper kind of version, so it doesn't shout out like, "Ooh, I'm different. Look at me." I kind of like it that you have to actually explore the car to see the details and the differences, and it has so many little Easter eggs all around. So the more you look at it, the more you see it, and I think it's much more elegant than I'm being very harsh about it.
Quality, absolutely quality. We'll hear it start up, if that's okay, Mickey. If you're cool with that. Absolutely awesome. So what we'll say before you start up, Mickey, is we're grateful for you coming along and being the first member of the public, really, on the Driven Not Hidden stage. So thank you for that. Maybe if you'd be so kind enough, pop back this afternoon, and for those that have missed out the first time, they could see this car again. That would be grand.
Take it easy off the red carpet, no wheel spinning.
Such a cool project. Quality. Right, if I'll pop that there. So that was Mickey Casma with the 912C. C, of course, standing for carbon fibre. So we really appreciate Mickey coming along to tell us all about that. I think we're going to dive off just a minute because we need to sort out some audio because it's not coming through on the live.
Okay.
So we'll sort that and we'll be back very shortly, and we'll go and commandeer some cars to come up and join us on the stage. So yeah, we'll spin that round. So thanks very much for watching so far, and we'll see you soon.
See ya.
Bye-bye.